Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Every Pokemon Episode Ever podcast. I am one of your hosts, Wrestling Chris G, and on the other line with me today is the Snivy one of the group. He thinks he's slick, but he isn't really. It's good old Dougie Fresh. Dougie, my man, how you doing?
Fuck you mean I ain't slick?
You ain't slick.
No, you don't know me for shit.
So how you doing, man? Peek behind the curtain. It's been a couple weeks since we've recorded an episode, so it's nice to finally get back in the mix here.
Yeah, because one of us just couldn't land on a day to get going. So eventually, you hit a certain point in the week and you just kind of punt.
I was fixing my basement.
No, and I get it, and you know, you were very upfront with me. It wasn't like I was sitting here every day and like 9 o'clock. You're like, can't do it tonight. I'm like, damn.
I've done that before to you, though.
But I feel like, shit happens.
I'll be like, yeah, I'm not feeling it tonight. Let's do this a different night.
And I'm sitting there going, all right, where was that 2 hours ago? I mean, what? But no, you were very upfront. You're like, I'm going to try because you right away basically were like, yeah, Tuesday's not going to work for sure because we got people coming over. I was like, all right, cool. And then, last night, because we're recording this on a Tuesday, last night you're like, well, what about 9 o'clock? I know it's kind of late, but if we knock on, one episode, and I'm like, okay. And then you're like, yeah, scrap it, I ain't home.
Dude, no joke. I'm gonna let everyone in on a funny story. So peek behind the curtain. We're remodeling our entire basement, but so the reason we were out yesterday was because we were looking at like new showers, new vanities and stuff to put into our bathroom, and we were looking at the new flooring. So we're picking out our new bathroom. We're picking out the new tile that we're going to be getting put down on the floor. And we're just picking out everything for this lower level. And it's gonna be different. And we were just out for a while. And of course, being out super late, we all got hungry, right? So, Doug.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask you a question, okay?
I reserve the right not to answer.
Yes, you do. But I think you're going to answer because it's funny. All right. When you think of like McDonald's, Taco Bell, White Castle, and Burger King, what is a time frame for those restaurants, at least over by you, because it should be the same over by me, but by you, what is a time frame that you would think that those restaurants close?
Well, you're talking a Monday night.
Yep, Monday night, you're talking McDonald's, Taco Bell, White Castle, Burger King.
Well, I thought Taco Bell's whole shtick was they don't close.
Okay. McDonald's?
I think McDonald's is like maybe 1 o'clock.
Okay. Burger King?
Burger King's probably in that same boat.
All right. And White Castle. White Castle is infamous for being open almost 24/7.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I thought White Castle and Taco Bell were kind of in the same boat as well.
So I got hungry for some Taco Bell last night. And it is at the time, I think it was between 7 and 7:30 in the evening.
Perfectly reasonable. A little late for dinner for my taste, but perfectly reasonable.
Yes. And normally we'll eat a little earlier if we're cooking.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I like to wait until after I'm done podcasting.
Yeah, and then get indigestion and diarrhea and all that.
So, but yeah, around 7 o'clock, 7:30. When I tell you that we went 3 different Taco Bells, and every single one of them was fucking closed.
At 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Oh, no, it wasn't even 8 o'clock. It was between 7 and 7:30.
Yeah, no, that's unexcusable.
Yeah. And it's like every single one that we got to, they had just closed. No joke. So we got to the first one, and we see a car pull off from Taco Bell. So we must have been the last fucking customer. And we pull up, and they're like, "Sorry, we're closed." And I was like, "Wait, closed?" And I look at the time; it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, It's only 7 o'clock." "Yeah, I'm sorry, we're closed." Uh, okay, all right. Have a good night. And look up the next Taco Bell. Okay, it's over here. All right, let's drive about 4 or 5 miles down the road. Go to a second Taco Bell. Again, two cars are pulling out this time, and we pull up. "Sorry, we're closed. It it's 7:10." "Yeah, I know. Sorry, we're closed for the night." "Oh, oh, okay. Um, your sign on the window says open till 1. "Yeah, sorry, but we're closed. Have a good night." Oh, okay. Have a good night." And it's at this point, my wife looks at me and goes, "I ain't going to no damn third Taco Bell." I was like, "Well, babe." I was like, I want some Taco Bell." She's like, "Pick something else." I was like, "You know what? I'm not even hungry anymore. Fuck it." And she's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna get Wendy's for me and the kids. Do you want Wendy's?" It's like, "No, I don't want no fucking Wendy's. I want Taco Bell." But
Yeah, no, because you get pissy and you.
and I can hear all I can hear all the women that have boyfriends that are similar to me listening to this, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Yep."
they're all driving and they all simultaneously smack the boyfriend. That's you. Shut up, Amy. Shut up.
So um so she goes through the drive-through, orders her and the kids some food, looks dead at me. "Do you want anything?" "No, I don't want no damn Wendy's."
I want no damn Wendy's, even though it's a superior hamburger. And
I was not in a burger mood, bro. I was not in a burger mood. So I'm like, so she gets the food, and then we're leaving the parking lot. So as we're leaving the parking lot, she's like, "What the fuck do you want to eat? Because I'm tired and I want to go home."
he's like, I want Taco Bell.
So I'm like, "You know what? Arby's sounds pretty fire right." She's like, "Really?"
Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with her. Wait a minute. I love me some Arby's now,
Yeah.
but
Oh, bro. Because so her next thing is she's like, "I ask you for Arby's all the fucking time, and you wait until I've already ordered me some food to now say that you want some damn Arby's." She's like, "You're not getting no damn Arby's." I was like, "But I want some Arby's." She's like, "You're not getting no damn Arby's. You're not going to get it. And I'm going to sit there and be watching you eat the damn Arby's wanting some Arby's." I was like, fuck. I was like, "All right, you know what? Let's go get some checkers." So remember, I said we stopped at 3 Taco Bells, okay?
well, you said three, but you only stopped at two, unless
And
you
oh,
stopped.
oh, oh, the story's not over.
Oh God damn it!
So I'm like, "All right, go to Checkers. Even though I don't want any chicken, I'll eat some damn chicken for the night."
Wait a minute. Hold the phone,
I had
Noble.
chicken for lunch.
Right, I understand that, but Checkers, you can get a hamburger at Checkers.
I didn't want burgers. I was being difficult, Doug. So,
No,
so we're on our way over to Checkers. Okay, my wife has just drove all around town, and we're on our way. We're about 3 minutes away from Checkers. I look in my phone, and just out of curiosity, I just say, "Hey Google, Taco Bell."
and she took your phone and threw it out the window.
And I can just see the steam rolling from the top of my wife's head because she knows what's coming next. So I'm like, "Oh, babe, I was like,
Babe, it's only.
the Taco Bell that's next to Checkers, it says it's open. And she's like, they're fucking closed. And I was like, babe, no. I was like, the app says that the other two are obviously closed. I was, it says it right here, but it says this one's open. And she's like, I'm on my way to Checkers. And I was like, babe, come on. I was like, it says it's open. And she lets us, she's like, if I go to Taco Bell and they're fucking closed, you're not getting a damn thing.
God.
And I'm like, you know what? I'll take that because I was like, the app says that they're open, so they
Oh,
should be open. And then
shit.
you have my son in the back going, Dad, I will go to Checkers and just get you some food because at least you'll have some food.
Boy speaking sense.
And I'm sitting there like, shut up, I want some tacos. And then
Oh, boy.
and then at this point, you have my daughter going, tacos, tacos. I want some tacos. So
Yeah, because she's a little shit stirrer.
yeah. So I'm like, just go to Taco Bell. So we're driving down the road. We pass Checkers, okay?
Right,
So
which
so
was clearly open.
clearly open. They don't have anybody in the line. We pass it and we're going down the road and there's Taco Bell. Nice bright sign, but as we get closer, it's dark on the inside.
Oh, boy.
And my wife looks at me before we even get all the way up to Taco Bell and goes, they're closed. You're starving. I was like, no, wait. I was like,
And,
babe, I'm sorry. Babe. And she's like, no, my food is now going to be cold. I don't want to reheat up my food. We're going home. You can find something at the house. I'm like, fuck. So
and she's leaving you next week.
so we're on our way back to the house and we're passing Checkers again. I was like, babe, there's nobody in line at Checkers. And she's like, this better be quick. So she pulls
That's
in there.
probably not the first time she's told you that.
I know people are like, this is a Pokemon pocket, but I'm sorry. I'm giving you a funny story.
No, fuck it. At this point, I'm having fun.
So we get in there and she's like, what do you want from Checkers? And she's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna order. You speak it into the damn thing. She lets the window down. Welcome to Checkers. What can I get for you? Can I get 20 boneless wings with your medium sauce? One extra or one fry lover's French fry. And then my wife goes, babe, give me some mozzarella sticks.
Ha!
All right, can I get an order of mozzarella sticks and a large root beer, no ice? All right, pull up. So we pull up. It's this amount. All right, here you go. Here's the card. And then as they're handing the card back, they go, can you pull around the side? Your wings are going to be about 10 minutes.
Ah.
My wife, I swear, if a stare could kill, she was staring me straight through my body. I my car is normally like really loud with the kids. These kids were quiet. I didn't even hear a damn YouTube video in the back. Like it is so quiet in this car. I'm looking away because I don't want to look at my wife right now. Like, oh my god. I was like, she just told me this better be quick. They're talking 10 minutes. So we pull around. They finally bring out our food after so long. They forgot her mozzarella sticks. Oh
Oh,
my
shit.
god. People are like, this story ain't true. No, this story is fucking true. I wish my wife was down here to verify, but but they forgot it. And as we're pulling off, because she's having me check the bag, I was like, I don't see your mozzarella sticks. No joke. Have you ever seen the commercial? I think it's for Sonic, where the guy pulls off and the guy in the window forgot to give the driver his straw for his drink, so he starts running down the road to give him the damn straw. I kid you not, we're leaving the parking lot, and the guy is running out, and we're at a stop because Stephanie knows that we're gonna have to go back to go and get her mozzarella sticks. And the guy runs over to the car window and it's like, you forgot your mozzarella sticks. Which made it so much more funnier. Everybody gives us the mozzarella sticks and we leave and we're on our way home. And that was the little venture for fast food, which wasn't so fucking fast. Oh my goodness. That was it. So that was story time with Wrestling Chris G, baby. So
We're gonna get a copyright strike.
they seem pretty friendly over there. They don't.
Fuck no. Hey, no, fuck them. I love me some AEW, but AEW killed Botchamania.
Did they really?
Yes, sir.
Wait, what?
Tony Khan got a bug up his butt.
Okay,
You
explain.
well, because Botchamania, it's like it's WWE botches. It's old WCW botches. It's all the indie botches in the world, basically.
Yes.
Unless the company like specifically, because there's been a couple companies that have specifically asked him like, hey, could you not cover our shit for X, Y, and Z? That's between them and Mafu.
Okay.
And so he said but he didn't have this issue with AEW. AEW seems to kind of be
more on the lenient side.
And I mean, you've seen some dark episodes where it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if this should have made air, and
yeah,
that's the stuff that gets covered. When I tell you they were bombing him with copyright strikes.
Are you serious?
Consistently, to the point that they cratered the original Botchamania YouTube channel. He's having to upload his stuff on a channel called Botchamania Again because they kind of chilled out. But yeah, so, and like I say, I love me some AEW, but Tony Khan needs to either learn how to take a joke or log off Twitter once in a while or something.
Oh, damn. I had no idea about that. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit more off air. But, damn.
Yeah. So,
all right, everybody. It's a Pokemon podcast.
And it's going to be a quick one on account of... But I can, as much as I can vouch for that story because I've had experiences like that with you specifically.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, one I can think of, it was you and I coming home after a show. So granted, it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock at that point. So that's a little more.
When we had to stop at Carl Jr.'s or whatever it was called. Was it that one?
Yeah, and then I think we ended up with Taco Bell because it was... No, we ended up with McDonald's because it was like, fuck it, we need to do something.
Dude, they were being rude through the microphone. Like, they didn't even want to prepare our food. I was like, I don't want my food spit on, so let's just dip.
Yeah, that's one of your pet peeves because you like say something or send something back or get really specific with your order, and I always say, oh, your food's gonna get spit on. You always get so mad.
But all right. So everybody, as we said, it's a Pokemon podcast. Today is episode. Oh, geez, it's episode 666.
Oh Christ.
Um, yeah. um, Today's episode is called Snivy Plays Hard to Catch, or translated from Japanese, Get the I don't. How do you say that? Get the Tsutarja that knows attack. That knows attract. Get the Tsutarja that knows attract. There you go. Oh, excuse me.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but still. Um this episode aired in Japan on October 28th, 2010, here in the States on March 19th, 2011. And of course, as everybody knows, we like to go back in time on this specific date. So, Doug, you beat me to it this week because mine's pretty current. What is your date for March 19th?
So on March 19th of the year of our Lord 1984, former Major League All-Star and MVP and multiple Cy Young winner Denny McLain is originally sentenced to, or is indicted, and that's important because the charges were later squashed. But is originally indicted on charges of drug trafficking, embezzlement, and racketeering, and is on tap to serve 25 years before, as I stated, the charges were squashed.
Oh, okay.
And Denny McLain was one of the best pitchers of his era. In 1968, in particular, with the Detroit Tigers, he won 33 games en route to not only winning the AL Cy Young, but also the AL MVP, which pitcher MVP awards are so rare because, you're going up against, pretty much every hitter in the league. So for a pitcher to beat out some of the best hitters of that year, he had to do something pretty damn spectacular. And 33 wins as a pitcher is like tops for the modern mark. I mean, you go back dead ball era, some of these guys are winning, freaking 45, 50 games a year because there's no bullpen. So if you start a game go 18 innings, you're going to finish that game. So yeah, 33, and then that following year he followed that up with another Cy Young award. So he was on track to be like a megastar, and he had a pretty solid career all told. I think he won like 131 games, but he, as evidenced by the date in question, he fell on some hard times, trying to, and 84 in particular is significant in Tigers history because the Tigers would go on to win the World Series that year. So it's kind of a little bit of serendipity to think that on the field, they're on this run to the pennant while one of their stars from the past is going through all this shit. So it's kind of one of those how the mighty have fallen kind of things. But
Oh,
yeah.
well, thank you, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I didn't know. I probably wouldn't have known until you brought it up.
Well, there you go. That's why I'm here.
Mine is a little bit more on the simple side, I guess you can say. Mine happened in 2016, and this is the day that Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice first premiered in Mexico City, starring Ben Affleck as your Batman. So, just want to throw that good old spiel out there, even though we went to go see that movie, Doug. Me, you, and a few others. We went to a midnight showing of that movie. And I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of hate for saying this, but um, we didn't stay awake the entire movie.
Well, I blame a couple of things.
Okay.
I blame the midnight showing, chief among them, because that's just dumb. I've been to a few late night showings and they never end well. Um,
Hey, I used to love going to midnight showings.
yeah, but you also used to be 25.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, I had at least a beer beforehand.
Yeah, we did drink
Um,
at the bar before we went into the movie. I think I had some whiskey with my brother-in-law.
no, because you'd have been dead. Um,
Really? I thought I had a glass of whiskey. Pretty sure I had
I,
a glass of whiskey.
I couldn't tell you, but that's a little surprising. Um, the seats reclined.
Yes.
Um,
So
it,
automatic puts you
it was it was too long.
to. It just checked all the wrong boxes for us, right?
It was very dark in certain points. So yeah, I mean there was just a lot working against us, and yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened on that date, and it's been 5 years since that movie, and holy crap, yeah, I was 25 when that came out. Holy shit.
I was taking a shot in the dark. Yeah, I guess you were.
Yeah, I was about to turn 26 in a few months. So, oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, but time is a motherfucker. I mean, I was watching the the premiere of part two of season three of Dark Side of the Ring, and they were covering the plane ride from hell,
oh, dude, that was such a great episode.
and that's going on 20 years. And I'm like, that's a son of a bitch.
I have some feelings about that episode. I'm not going to go into it here because I don't want to deflect any of our audience, but I'll talk to you off air about that because I have some feelings about that and some things that even though I know I wasn't on the flight, but stories that we've heard prior to that episode. So
Yeah, a
yeah,
bunch of motherfuckers be looking like kids.
yeah. So all right. So today's episode, Snivy plays hard to catch. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump on in. Are you ready, Doug?
Just out of curiosity, and I usually don't do this. Where are we sitting with this recording right now?
Oh, right now, we are right at 30 minutes.
All right, so we're gonna go a little quicker because I like this episode, but I don't feel like this episode in total should be an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, no, 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 no. We're about to fly through this episode because I mean, there's not too much that really happens in it outside of Ash trying to catch a Snivy. So,
No, and I was gonna, and I mean we can get into it, but I was pleasantly surprised by a couple of things that didn't outstay their welcome.
all right.
So yeah, I mean, and
And I am
I don't know if
loving
we mentioned.
Team Rocket's small roles in these episodes. I just want to point that out. Just
Well,
so
yeah, I mean that was chief among them because yeah, they popped up and it's like, oh shit, now we got to deal with them as the B plot, and they kind of stayed to themselves. I was like,
they
oh.
haven't even been after Ash that much in this so far.
No,
So
because they've actually had something to do.
exactly. So and you're gonna really appreciate them more when you get further into the series. Because I'm currently watching Master Journeys right now on Netflix. So
I'll
you're
tell
gonna
you what I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying that. I don't know if we've covered this on the pie. I feel like we have, but Pokemon kind of threw us a bit of a bone recently and put the stuff we're covering on Pokemon.com, so we have like official subtitles and everything.
yes. So yes, we are reviewing this off of Pokemon.com on their Pokemon TV section. So all right. So we start this week's episode, of course, with our heroes. They're walking through the forest. And it's Ash, it's Iris, and it's Kaylin?
Siren.
Siren. Silent.
Silent. That's it.
Yes, silent. Sorry, everybody. And of course, Ash is hungry. So they're like, okay, well, Iris is like, you know what? I can prepare some food. And she hops over this bush, and we we go to this next scene, and they're literally sitting at a tree stump, and Iris is bringing back a big bowl of fruit. Now, I didn't see her um, with a bowl when she jumped that bush. I just want to throw that out there. Like, she did she come back and get this bowl and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot it." And then Ash called her a kid. Like, he's like, "Oh, only a kid will forget to get a bowl."
I
But
hate that. I hate that. And it popped up a couple times in this episode, and I don't like it. I understand that that's probably her gimmick. I do not care for it.
I don't care for it either. But she, or maybe she was hiding it in her hair because she has a lot of hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was either that or it was in her pack, but I don't know if she has a pack.
Yeah, I don't think so. So she comes back and she has a whole bowl of fruit, and she's like, "You can eat all you want." And she's like, "Yeah, I prepared it nice for everybody." And Simon's like, I don't think that you can really call this cooking." And he's looking at the bowl, and she's like, and they're all like, "Well, whatever. Lunch, here we come." And they all grab the food and they start eating. Doug?
Yeah, and then Silent stops him, and I was like, I wasn't expecting him to say grace, but whatever. And then he's like, well, just hold on just a second here, and we have a quick cut, and he's at this little pop up stove, and he's cooking. Well, it's safe to assume he's cooking the fruit that Iris has collected, and
It looks delicious.
it does. And of course, Ash is impatient because he had the food in his hand, and it was quite literally taken away from him.
Yeah.
And
So
then Silent comes back to the table, and he's got muffins and
it,
other assorted stuff that's not identified.
yeah, it looks like they might have some fried bananas on here, some muffins. I see some broccoli, and Iris is like, "Man, you're a master chef." And he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoy it because remember from his gym, he's one of the cooks there."
Right.
So of course, going on these journeys, we need a Brock, and Brock is gone right now, and so we need someone that can cook because we all know Ash can't cook. And when when he's left to his own, like when he was doing the journeys all by himself, he's like, "Man, I need some food." But all this money he's saving by not like cooking and stuff, you would think he would have enough money to go around after all of these Pokemon leagues to go and be able to feed himself.
You would think so, but I feel like Ash has a very one-track mind.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to be a Pokemon master, and to heck with anything else.
So
So they're Ash and Iris are wolfing down, and he's like, well, you can have as much as you want, and then
he's like, "There's more over there on the pop-up stove." He's like, "If you guys are hungry," and they run over and there's no food.
there's nothing there. Everything has been completely cleaned out, and Ash goes, I see no seconds,
Yeah.
and Cyrus is like, well, it was here a second ago, and my head immediately said, oh, great. We're going to have to do a Team Rocket for a whole freaking
Episode.
19 minutes and shit. But then we see rustling in the leaves and the tall grass rather. And then we get the theme song so used
Yes.
to the theme song starting these episodes. I'm still not quite.
You're still
I'm
not a
not.
fan of this song.
I'm not a fan, and I'm also not a fan of the show not starting with the theme song. But
Well, you're gonna have to
uh,
get used to that now. Because all the episodes now, um, because I don't even think. Let's see. I think in Johto that we're getting ready to cover, I think that has the song at the beginning. But I think I'm pretty sure after Johto or in Generations, one of the two, they start the episode and then they jump in. What's gonna drive you even more nuts is I forget which season it is, but they start the episode with a scene from the middle of the episode, and then you get the theme song, and then you get the beginning of the show, and you end up finding out what that middle scene was later on in the episode. That's gonna drive you nuts.
oh, just hearing about that doesn't make sense. I mean, I get it, but
Like I'll give you a for instance, and yes, everybody, we're gonna get back to the episode. Um, so say there's a Pokemon, say it's a gym battle episode. They'll start the episode with a couple attacks inside of the gym battle. Then they'll leave you on a cliffhanger as to what's about to happen. Go to the theme song, and then they're walking in the forest, coming back into town to get ready to go over to the gym. So
but
yeah, yeah.
but why though?
Yeah, it only lasted one season.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll let you know that. I forgot what season it was, but it was driving me up the wall. I was like, why? I was like, I don't want to watch an like the middle of the episode already. Like, just play the episode. But they did
Yeah,
they
because we're
did
gonna
save
get.
on a lot of animation.
Well, that's true, and I mean that's what it all becomes at a certain point, especially when you're freaking. I mean, here you're 14 seasons in as it is.
Yep. So, all right. So we come back from the title sequence. Snivy plays hard to catch, and we focus in on Ash and Pikachu, who are crawling in the grass to look around and see what's going on here. And there's a nice little dirt patch in the middle of the grass where a Snivy is sitting there eating the food that it looks like it's stolen from them.
And then Ash is like, "Oh, it's a Snivy. That's one of the starter Pokemon." And I was so prepared for him to pull out Dexter, and I was gonna get so mad,
Because he's already done it.
but he didn't. He said, "Oh, I'm just gonna catch it." So he does the stupid thing. Well, the initial stupid thing where he's like, "I'm just gonna catch it," and he throws a Pokeball and goes
And
in the Pokeball, and I think it shakes what like twice.
yeah, and Iris and Silent are just sitting there and they're like, "Oh, not again." Because he's done this before. And they're like, "Oh, has he not learned that you need to battle these things?" But yeah, Snivy goes into the ball, shakes just a couple times, and then when it comes out of the ball, this Snivy was like, "You know what? Don't try to catch me." And it takes its tail and it just whacks the ball back at Ash.
Right back at him. So I mean, that's convenient at least. It's not like he had to go get it or send Pikachu after it.
Do these
Um,
do these Pokeballs become non-active after you try to catch the Pokemon in it the first time? Like, does it not register anything anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I know in the games you throw one and it breaks out, it's gone. You don't get it back.
Yeah, and
So,
they still have that in the game.
but I feel like because Snivy just hit it back, I feel like a Pokeball is still a Pokeball until it's got a Pokemon in it.
Gotcha.
I mean,
We
otherwise, why would she go through the hassle of hitting the ball back in the first place?
okay, that makes
I'm,
sense.
that's kind of where I'm sitting.
But we have Silent and Iris end up come running over to Ash, and I just want to point out that Pokemon kind of messed up here. Ash is no longer holding that Pokeball. So
This is
Iris,
very true.
Silent and Iris come running back, and she's like, Snivy's a grass type Pokemon, and he's Ash like, I want to catch it, and they're like, well, you can't just run up to it and just throw a Pokeball at it. You gotta battle it. And Ash is like, you know what? I'm
Well, she
gonna.
also had a really stupid line. I'm sorry for cutting you off. She also had a really stupid line of, well, it went in your Pokeball in the first place, so it must be wild.
Yes.
What the fuck? Yeah.
So, but she says that line, but then we end up finding something out a little later on, which kind of doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna get into that because I have a few questions to ask you, Doug.
Well, yeah, that's true too, and yeah, I had a few thoughts myself.
So Ash is like, I'm gonna catch this Snivy, and starts chasing after it in the tall grass. And I like the way that they depict this tall grass to being taller than Ash, because in the video game, when you're in the grass, I mean the grass covers you. So
Right.
you're going through a patch of grass, you're really going through it. And they actually put it in this game like, all right, yeah, if you're going to go through the grass is going to be taller than you. And then they go to another dirt patch in the middle, and Ash is like, there you are, Pikachu, quick attack. And Pikachu's like, I'm ready, and just goes in and starts its quick attack. And I like the animation that it does, because it's not always that we get a nice little like animation for the attack that Pikachu or any of Ash's Pokemon are doing.
Yeah,
But
I mean, they really leaned on the animation this episode
so
because we had a couple instances where it's like, oh, they really fleshed out this attack here.
yeah. So Pikachu runs in and does quick attack, but Pikachu is not quick enough because Snivy looks over on the side of its eye and jumps, and Pikachu misses.
And then Snivy lands and almost literally gives Ash the old side eye. Like, what did I just say? You know?
And Silent has a really good line. He's like, Snivies um are very smart Pokemon, and they're not really easy to catch. And Ash looks like he has his thumb stuck up his butt, and he's like, you know what? I'm not listening to you. I'm gonna catch this thing. And he gets mad, and he's like, Pikachu, Thunderbolt. And Pikachu tries to Thunderbolt it, and then Snivy, I think this move is called Attract. Yes, it uses a
Attract, yeah.
it uses Attract, and Pikachu starts falling in love with it. And
And
we get told that this move can only work on the opposite sex Pokemon. Doug?
gee, I wonder if that's going to come into play later. But yeah, so Pikachu is completely gaga and is out of it, and Snivy goes to use Vine Whip to finish old Pikachu off, and then Ash gets in front and takes the Vine Whip to the back, and you can kind of see that it kind of registers on Snivy like, oh, was not expecting that today, and Snivy kind of is like, and like uses I don't know,
It looks like a tornado type.
like some type of like leaf tornado or something, and is just gone and leaves a crater in its place.
Yes.
And
He's gone.
Silent goes, oh, that Snivy must be at a high level after all. And then freaking Iris drops like the little nugget of all nuggets and goes, I wonder if that Snivy abandoned its trainer.
Which I didn't know that a Pokemon can do.
Well, because obviously, in watching the original Pokemon, as far as we've seen the reverse,
Yes.
where a trainer gets fed up with a Pokemon and leaves it, and in fact, that's how Ash got half his Pokemon.
He gets the hand-me-downs.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I didn't, because that shows that a Pokemon can get to know a trainer and be like, this guy or girl's an idiot,
And I don't want no part of it.
and I'm out of here. Like,
So yeah, it gets explained to us by Iris that Snivy is a different type of Pokemon. So it likes to be with a smart trainer. And if it sees that its trainer is not smart or passionate enough or what it really wants, that it literally walks away from its trainer and doesn't look back.
well, so half of Ash is fucked because he is not smart, but he is very passionate. So hopefully his passion can outweigh his intelligence, because otherwise he's gonna lose that Snivy in like 3 episodes.
For real. I'm to be honest, I mean, I'm watching a lot of the later episodes in Master Journey right now. I haven't seen Snivy, so I wonder. He has not been in any of the episodes that I have been watching, so I'm starting to wonder and put two and two together.
Yeah, right.
But I'm sure they didn't do that to Ash. But yeah, Ash goes. He's like, "There's no doubt I'm gonna catch that Snivy now." And Pikachu's like, "Pika," and he's like, "Can't the two of you just calm down?" Iris goes, and he's like, "Calm down." He's like, "I don't need to calm down. I'm gonna go and catch that Snivy." And then he's like, "Pidove, go!" And he's like, and Pidove is all the way up in the air. And he's like, "Go find that Snivy." And Pidove just flies away. What if Pidove never came back? I
Then
just
Ash
want
has then Ash has a dud of a Pidove,
to. So all right, so we go
which would
straight.
track.
Yeah, it would. It really would. I always wondered that when Ash sends his bird Pokemon up, like his bird Pokemon just look at him and like, you know what? I don't need this. I mean, the only time you use me, because we don't ever see Pidove battle, do we?
Um, he fought a little bit because that was all him and Pikachu were all he had at one point.
Well, yeah, but ever since he's gotten other Pokemon, I think this is the first time we've seen Pidove in a while.
Well, right, but he wasn't the focus because we had to go through the strategy of Ash gets all the starters.
True. So Pidove goes flying away, and then Doug, do you want to take this next part with Team Rocket in this little rock of a cave like place that they're at?
So this is where we got the first appearance of Team Rocket. I said, "Oh, 7 minutes in. That's kind of late for a Team Rocket." But I was like, okay, well, I could deal with 14 and a half minutes of Team Rocket if I absolutely, well, I mean 12 basically, if I absolutely had to. And Giovanni is kind of catching Team Rocket up to speed, saying the secret organization is in the Unova region, and they're getting basically the secret organization is getting their feet under them, and they might already be knowing what we're doing, and um, you know be on your toes basically. And Team Rocket's basically like, let's go. And
We got this.
and we kind of have a moment of wondering who the secret organization is.
And it would have
Um,
helped if I would have played the game that revolved around this. But I, I don't know. This is the one game that I have never got fully gotten through. I feel like Black. I've played Black 2, but I did not. I don't think I got all the way through Black number 1 because I think it was the first type of Pokemon game that kind of really used the whole DS and like the big memory type of game, and I got overwhelmed playing it. I'm like, okay, this is not my regular type of Pokemon game. This is a lot. Like I got to remember a lot, and I kind of gave up, even though I've played Sword and Shield, which is even bigger, but still.
Well, fucking hit the button on your Pokemon Go, put Pokemon Go away, and get on it for God's sakes.
I can't put Pokemon Go down. I'll get behind.
We catch up.
No. There's events.
I have events in every room.
I just hit level 40, everybody. I'm sure you guys have seen it on the good old Instagram.
Did you actually hit it?
Yeah, I hit it. I hit the button and I got my shiny Mew.
I didn't even see the smoke go up.
Yeah, oh, there was a lot of smoke because it's only a fucking 2-star shiny Mew. I was so pissed off.
First world problems.
I don't give a fuck. My first Mew was 2-star. Like I couldn't even get a freaking 3-star, like just one 3-star Mew, and those are the only 2 Mews that you can get in this game as of right now. And
Well, fuck, then quit the game.
both of mine are freaking 2-star. Like I have so many 3-star and perfect Pokemon, like they couldn't give me one 3-star Mew. Man, fuck them.
Well, so much like James, you need to strengthen your firepower.
Yeah, apparently.
Right. Which I thought this was a rare moment of like intelligence by James because he like and nobody interrupted him, nobody made fun of him. This didn't come from Jesse. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
And
you want
like we need to catch more.
Oh, sorry.
So basically, he's like, we need to catch more Pokemon, and then we get a little cheeky line from Jessie because she sees out of the corner of her eye, she sees the Snivy, and she goes, "Hey, who's that Pokemon?" And we all go, "Ha!"
It's like, oh, it's a Snivy, and freaking Meowth gets all gung ho for it, and he's like, I'm gonna scratch it, and he just
there's this really cool moment where Jessie like throws the Pokeball with all this kind of English on it. And it's ducking and diving through this grass, and it looks like it's going to catch up to Snivy, and Snivy does a Matrix move.
Yes.
Over the Pokeball. I was like, well, I mean, this next episode's going to look like crap because this is where all the animation went this year.
In this episode right here. So.
But yeah, this is when Meowth kind of takes it upon itself to kind of, literally take its claws out and is going to scratch it and scratches it with everything he has. We find out all he did was mark up a rock really bad.
Dude, I felt bad for his claws. Like he clawed the mess out of that rock. And I was like, ouch.
Yeah, and in the first couple seasons of the game, we would see a shot of Meowth's claws like literally crumbling, and we'd see like Meowth crying, but we didn't get that here.
No. So, Snivy, Meowth is looking around. He's like, I know I just saw that Snivy. And he's looking around, and then he's like, well, where did it go? And Snivy is long gone. And it's jumping on top of some rocks and climbing this little cliff and just gone.
And, at one point just kind of stops and looks like it collapses, but we see that it's found a good spot and it's laying now. And it's looking up, she's looking up at the clouds, and we got a flashback of Ash taking the Vine Whip to the back, and she's like, I don't want to think about that, and she rolls over, and Pidove spots her and starts doing loop-de-loops, and
it's like, oh, I found it, and Ash's like, it must be over here.
Ash is like, lead the way, and Pidove's like, well, what the fuck else would I do?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm not just circling here for my health.
A little bit of bird cardio, So they take off after it, and Snivy is unceremoniously awoken from its little cat nap and looks over the ridge and sees Ash and Pikachu, and we see just how big of a distance there is between them.
Yes.
Because originally you thought, oh, it's just a little kind of cliffy area. Well, it ends up kind of being
it's a big cliffy area.
not quite a mountain, but just about. And Ash is about to send Pikachu up after it when Oshawott breaks out of its Pokeball and says, I can do it. So Oshawott, Ash, and Pikachu go climbing up this basically this cliff, and Snivy says, "Have some boulders." And
that's what Snivy said, Doug.
absolutely, word for word. And Snivy says, "Well, that should be the end of them." And she gets a couple steps forward and looks back and goes, "Are you kidding me with these people?"
Like, leave me alone.
And Ash tells Oshawott to use water gun. Snivy gets out of the way, except for one little drop of water hits its cheek. And Snivy's like, well, this is inconvenient. And then.
What about the fact that Oshawott was on top of Ash's head as they were climbing the cliff?
Well, it can't use all its energy. It's got to battle when it gets up there. Now, could it have gone back into Pokeball until they got up there? Yes, but did we think about that in the moment? No.
No. So from here, we get Iris and Silent have now climbed the hill as well. And
Hate this.
and Iris is like, Ash, don't you know a water type has a disadvantage against a grass type? And
what a kid.
I know.
Oh my god. Put my head through this freaking laptop.
And freaking Silent's like, yeah. He's like, Ash definitely has a different type of strategy when it comes to battling.
But Ash could have 100% rightfully turned around and said, I didn't want to put myself in this situation. Oshawott got it out of its Pokeball. And he would have sounded nuts, but he would have been right.
You're not wrong there.
But then Iris, I guess, could turn around and say, well, if you were a better trainer, Oshawott wouldn't be breaking out of its Pokeball. And we'd all say touche and we move on with our life.
So Oshawott, from the little that I watched of the episode next to this, Oshawott kind of gets the short end of the fucking stick. Like I'm catching Charmander vibe when it comes to Oshawott this season so far. But let's see. So
Snivy goes to use Vine Whip, and Oshawott takes its little shell off its chest and blocks, and then powers up the shell to use Razor Shell. And once again, Snivy uses Attract, and Oshawott is helpless.
Yes. So Oshawott is a boy. So we know that now.
We know Oshawott is a boy, and we know Pikachu is a male as well.
Yes. Even though, yeah, I mean, we've been know Pikachu is a male, but because of the spike on its tail.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we did go through that. Yeah.
And it's at this moment Oshawott is unable to battle, so it gets called back into its Pokeball.
And then we get who's that Pokemon? And wouldn't you goddamn know it? It's Snivy.
No, it's Oshawott. I'm joking. Doug's like, you motherfucker.
Like, we're in a rhythm. What are you trying to do?
So, all right. So, yes. So, after the Who's That Pokemon and it's Snivy, we continue the chase, everybody. So, like we said, this is, I mean, it's a filler episode, but it's kind of not a filler episode.
I would not categorize this as filler.
No?
No, because there's an end goal here.
Yes. Okay.
Like something is eventually accomplished.
Well, I mean, so is in most filler episodes too. I'm just fucking with you.
There's been a couple where they literally started in the town and they made it about halfway through the town.
Beauty and the Beach.
Some circles that never happened.
So we're still chasing after this Snivy, and come to find out, Pidove is still outside of its Pokeball. And Ash is like, Pidove, go after Snivy. And it's going after it. It's going after it. It's flying. And so they're still on top of the rocks right now. And Iris and Silent are starting to get tired now. And Iris especially, she's like, why can't Ash just give it a rest already? He's not going to catch this Snivy. I've never seen someone more stubborn. And Silent is like, I think the correct word would be determined. And
Took great offense to that comment.
really,
As a Madden player, I took great offense to why don't you just give up and move on? Well, sometimes you fucking can't.
for real.
Sometimes you have to beat the challenge to move on to the next thing to get the rewards sometimes you don't have an option.
So, and if Iris is getting freaking, if Iris is getting tired already, I mean, she shouldn't be on this long journey that we're on. Just saying. And we are now in the forest, and Snivy is jumping from branch to branch.
And at one point, Snivy kind of looks back like, "Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Like, what are we doing here?"
And Ash starts freaking becoming Tarzan and going from vine to vine, just swinging. And Snivy's like, son of a bitch.
Like, are you kidding? And then and then Snivy ends up on a lily pad, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm in the clear here for a minute. Well, then of course, because it's a cartoon, and had to happen this way.
Ash's vine breaks.
And it just happens to break right above the lily pad that Snivy's on. So Snivy has to quick dodge out of the way as Pikachu and Ash come crashing down. And pardon me, they start to sink because, as they should. But, obviously the water's only, yay deep, but, mud.
Yeah, it's like he's in a whole thing of muck because he can't really move. Well, I would say more like quicksand because Ash can't move
Yeah.
in the water. He's trying to like move his legs and he can't move. So Silent and Iris have to now throw in a vine and pull him out.
And unfortunately for Ash, Bulbasaur's not there to save his bacon.
He doesn't have his grass Pokemon yet.
He doesn't. The irony. That just hit me now. But see, well, and in the first couple seasons, this would be Snivy's literal turning point, where Snivy would help Ash out of the muck and all that, and then Snivy would say, "You can catch me now," and then the episode would be over.
No, Snivy just watched him freaking almost drown. Wasn't gonna help him. He's like, so be it. Stop chasing me.
Like, yeah, that'll stop you.
And Silent and Iris are basically when they pull him out are you done? And Ash is like, are you kidding me? This makes me even more determined to go after this Snivy. And he continues on his little chase journey.
And Snivy's like, this is some goddamn shit.
This is some bull.
This is ridiculous. I was just trying to catch a nap.
So
and
Snivy is walking away. So it's at this point, Snivy thinks that Ash and Silent and Iris are now gone. And he's finally taking a break. He's just cooling down and just chilling, walking down this nice dirt path. And then he looks back because he hears something. But what does he hear?
Well,
nothing.
He doesn't hear anything, and then he approaches a stream to kind of catch a drink and in his mind maybe calm down, and that's when we hear Pidove, and he looks up and goes, "You got to be goddamn." And then he turns around, and then there's Ash and Pikachu, And Snivy's like, this is
This is
asinine.
he's like, I'm gonna end up with this damn trainer, aren't I? So
But
oh, I'm sorry.
Ash has a spark of, well, I don't know if he had a
Genius.
bit of genius or he just ran out of Pokemon, but he calls out to Pig, and we go, oh, that's it. And
Finally, you're using a fire type against a grass type. And Iris has is finally happy. She's like, finally, he's thinking. He's using a fire type against the grass.
and then we get the little warning of, hey, watch out, don't let it go goo goo eyed. And then
And
Ash is like, you have to attack before Snivy can use a track. So Pig is trying to use Ember, Snivy's dodging it, and then fat load of good that advice did because Pig immediately goes goo goo, and Ash goes, ah, shit, and calls him back like immediately.
yes. And after he calls him back, he still has Pidove out. So, okay, I want to ask you something. So he's had Pidove out basically this entire episode almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet he's calling out his other Pokemon to attack this Snivy. I mean, I know it would have been a short episode if we would have had Pidove out first, but he is now sending Pidove after Snivy, and Snivy tries to use a track, and it does, and it lands on Pidove, but we find out Pidove is a girl. And a track does not work on Pidove. So do we not have any gay Pokemon? Really?
Well, now hold on a second. This is only 2011. I don't think we're ready to cross that bridge yet.
I mean I guess. Well, was it still not really out in the open like that?
I I mean, out in the real world, yes, but I still think because well, this is still a cartoon at the end of the day.
That's true. That's
I
true.
mean, are you really trying to tackle um, same sex relationships in a 20-minute
Cartoon.
Japanese cartoon?
That's true. That's true. So and by no means are we
Oh no, no,
are we
no.
hating on anyone that's listening to this because well, I'm one where I'm waiting for it to freaking happen. Like I was utterly shocked, but I forgot when this episode was made. So you're talking 2009. This didn't air until 2010. So yeah, I can see it. So all right, but so yes, a track does not end up working on Pidove. So he tells Pidove, use Gust, and
Well,
it
no, no. We get this good moment of Silent is giving Ash like all the credit in the world, saying, "Oh, he must have known Pidove was a girl." That's brilliant strategy. And literally the next frame is Ash going, "Well, that was a big break," and Pikachu just has the big like Pokemon anime feint, like, "Oh, come on, they were trying to give it to you."
yes, they're like, oh, just take the pat on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
so so But it's at this point Snivy starts using Vine Whip and it's just going nuts on this Pidove. And Pidove is just getting the work in and then gets this like what looks like a razor leaf tornado type move that he used before, but it's now using it as an attack. And Ash just says gust again. It This is a weird gust move. Like it's turning its gust into like shards of like it seems like shards of glass.
Yeah, it's almost
Basically,
like
it's like
a
whipping shards at the Snivy.
it's almost like a sandstorm type move.
Yes, and he turns the gust into a tornado-like move, and the tornado encompasses Snivy.
And what's that move that Ash has him?
quick attack.
Yeah, it is. No, but there's a something with his wing.
Oh, well, he didn't call a move at that point.
Oh,
So
okay. Gotcha.
So after while Snivy is inside of the tornado, Pidove starts to use some other attack, which looks like a whirlwind. It looks like it blew the tornado away, and then we Ash is like quick attack, and Pidove goes straight down and just tackles the mess out of Snivy. And Ash is like, oh, this is my chance, and gets his Pokeball out and throws the Pokeball because it seems like Snivy can no longer attack. And the Pokeball drops and he catches it. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. He does not catch Snivy yet. Snivy pops out.
After two shakes and stands up and kind of gets this look in its eye like, oh, I've got a plan. And we're going, oh, shit. So then, Pidove uses quick attack again. And then
Air Cutter.
Air Cutter is the move I couldn't think of. And it took Snivy off its feet again. And, I mean, at this point, you're sitting there going, all right, there's a minute and 45 seconds left. But Snivy kind of stands up, and it's almost like kind of gets a satisfied smile. And Ash turns his hat around so you know it's getting serious again and throws a Pokeball.
They made the animation for this Pokeball look weird. This Pokeball looks funny. I just want to throw that out.
It does a little bit. And, we're watching the thing shake, and I swear to God, it shakes like 12 times. And then we finally get the little catch sparkles, and we get the moment of, I got a Snivy, and Pidove and Pikachu are jumping around, and then we get a welcome to the team moment for Snivy, and then
and he immediately tells Snivy that they're going to win the Unova League.
And then the closing shot of the episode is Ash with his 5 Pokemon and trying to look like a low rent Thanos over here.
And then we get to be continued, and that was this week's episode, everybody. Literally, it was all about Ash just catching this damn Snivy.
I liked it.
I did too. What would you give it on your Dugami?
I really want to give it a 4.
You're going to give it a 4? Okay.
I really want to give it a 4.
All right, and I'm going to be in the same boat with you. There's a lot of progression in this episode, something that we'll be looking at going down the line, and it's not like he's going to get this Snivy and it's going to run away next.
No, that's 2 weeks.
So Ash finally got it. It was never told whether this Snivy was a runaway or not. So I'm sure we're going to get more of a story a little bit later on too. Also, I want to throw out there, most of you at this point of listening to this podcast have already watched it. I have not yet watched it yet because it's only September 21st. It comes out in a few weeks to this recording. But the new Pokemon movie is going to premiere, I believe it's October 8th on Netflix, which obviously it's been a while now, but if you have not watched that movie, go and watch that movie. It's been highly anticipated and it's been pushed back due to COVID for so long, and I am waiting to watch this movie. I just found out that the Japanese version with the English subtitles has leaked online this week, and I'm very tempted to just watch the Japanese version and then rewatch it when it's translated in English. So
translation to the earlier story in this episode, I really want tacos.
I really want to watch this damn movie. I have been wanting to watch this for a while. I wanted to watch this when everybody was speculating that we're going to get hints of Ash's father in this movie. And that's what I really want. Because remember...
Do we need Ash's father? I mean, it's been goddamn 30 years.
I mean, no, I mean we don't, but they are tying a lot of loose ends in Pokemon these days. So I mean, we're even at the point now where Ash in these last two seasons, he's not even going after a championship.
Well, no, because he
He's
got one.
Yeah, he finally got one. So I mean, he's now with this guy named Go, and um, Go just wants to capture every type of Pokemon. And spoiler alert, everybody, for people that haven't watched most of the Journey episodes. But
Wait. Hit the skip button a couple times just to,
yeah, hit the skip button for about 30 seconds, everybody.
yeah.
I'll
So
give you a few seconds.
that should be about two good hits if you're set to 15
But
seconds ahead.
but Go freaking caught a damn Suicune in the latest episode that I'm watching right now. I'm like, what the fuck? He caught a legendary Pokemon, and he got lucky getting it. And something else is going to drive you nuts, Doug. When they capture Pokemon later in the episode, they've now linked the Pokeballs to the Pokedex. So after every single catch, the Pokedex automatically goes off and says so and so Pokemon is now registered in your Pokedex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something tells me you're not going to like too much of these newer episodes once you get like into it after Ash wins the actually I'm calling it now. I think the least season that you're going to want to cover is the Journey season because of how the episodes are portrayed and animated. And well, I wouldn't even say animated. I like the animation, but the stories that they tell in those episodes.
I was gonna say I'm pretty open minded when it comes to animation. People were hating on the, I shouldn't say were because it's still going on. People are hating on the. Well, no, they were because I think people have come around. People were hating on What If when it first came out. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it looks like kid drew it. And
But it's some good shit.
now everybody and their mother's talking about it.
So, all right, let's go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna open up this pack of Pokemon cards. I have a Evolving Skies pack that I am opening. Actually, while we were talking, I've already done the card trick. And Doug, what energy am I going to look at first?
Leaf.
Leaf. Let's turn it around. It's electric.
Doot 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 doot.
So nice one. All right, so we have an electric energy, we have a Sableye, a Temple, a Boost Shake, which is a trainer card, an Eevee. Oh, that is a nice Eevee card. We have a Politoed, Spirit Mask, an Applin, a Cutie Fly. The reverse hollow is a Teddy Ursa, and I have a Vaporeon. Nice. So it's a nice hollow. It's a it looks like a double hollow. A reverse. It's a reverse hollow Vaporeon V card. This is nice. This is nice. All right, I'm happy. We can't win them all, but I'm a winner this week. So all right. And again, if you want to see these cards, you can go on our Instagram at every Pokemon at every Pokemon episode on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at Poke Breakdown. If you want to listen to next week's episode, if you're listening to this on the free feed, go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/every Pokemon, to listen to an episode a week in advance. And that is including the Black and White series as well. So, all right. So, Doug, my man, are you ready to sign out?
I would say so. I very much enjoyed this episode. I like a Team Rocket that has something to do that isn't just we're going to catch that Torps Pikachu and then we're going to get forwarded in 5 minutes. I'm intrigued about this mysterious group. I'm intrigued to see if Ash is going to use all 6 slots. Um, I'm curious to see how quickly he's going to give away his first Unova region Pokemon.
You know it's coming. Which
Well, you're right.
which one do you think he's gonna out of all the ones that he has? So he now has all three starter, Chew, and Pidove so far. So
Well,
does he get rid of Pidove
I
after
didn't
Pidove
like.
evolves?
I didn't like. Well, I didn't know Pidove was going to evolve, so
Well,
that's a
well,
spoiler.
it's not a spoiler, but all of his bird Pokemon end up evolving. I haven't watched any
Well, that's not
further.
true. He caught Pidgeotto. He didn't catch a Pidgey.
Oh, that is true.
Ah,
Well, he didn't get rid of Pidgeotto until it was a Pidgeot.
see, but I never made it that far. Um, so I don't know. I mean, the way you were talking about Oshawott earlier didn't give me the best vibes.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm getting full Charmander vibes when it comes to Oshawott.
But
And
Charmander stuck around. He just became a moody teenager and then a jackass 20-year-old. Um, so I don't know. I mean, part of me kind of feels like Tepig lacks confidence. So I think he might he might get rid of Tepig. Go make bacon out of yourself or something, or whatever.
oh, oh, you can't say that.
Why not? Bacon is delicious.
Yeah, it is. So, all right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. And you all will find out next week what I mean by Oshawott is kind of getting the short end of the stick. So we'll find out next week what I mean by that. But other than that, go ahead and give your goodbye, Doug.
Goodbye, Doug.
And this is Wrestling Chris G telling you that you don't want to miss next week's episode. It's called Saving Darmanitan from the Bell.
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah, it's called Saving Darmanitan from the Bell. Or translated from Japanese, Darumaka and Hihiduruma, Secret of the Clock Tower.
Good night, everybody.
So this is Wrestling Chris G telling all of you don't want to miss next week's episode, even though I can barely pronounce it. Have a good night, everyone.